Dang, that's the jammer. It's been on this whole time. Oops. Hey, it happens. I thought I turned it off. I just looked over, I'm like, hey, that's a weird looking box over there. That's alright. The funny I did it today, but it's because I had technical difficulties in that area, which I fixed, but I had to like reload it, and I didn't reload it to check it because I thought it did it, but it didn't. So all good. With the market, I put it all in the market. Most of so it's going to slowly go up or slowly go down, which is going to be exactly what an item does, but those specific items that I liquidated were going down a lot. So I should have done that way sooner because they were worth a little bit more. You can see my net worth if you go to my leaderboard thing, net worth over time, you see it slowly go down. Because it's all in items, not in the stock, which would have went up. But that's alright. All good. Because I want to make sure I can easily get that stuff out, because there's also transaction, and like you gotta wait for someone to get that. I want to instantly be able to get it out and maybe upgrade it, or I'm fine investing a few million this year, or a whole year. 15 million total. I could afford more. I got a piggy bank too, and I put a lot of my money that I had. There's a piggy bank item. The piggy bank item, you can put money in, but you can't take it out. In order to take it out, you gotta break it, like a piggy bank. So, which you could check. Piggy bank worth items on my leaderboard. I have 65 million in there. That's where most of my stuff is. Because I was, in the beginning, I'm just like, I'll just put it in here. I don't know how I got it. I remember I randomly got it. The big bank. I'm like, oh, that's a cool thing. Let's get this. Put in. Kind of safe way of doing it. I didn't really take it serious, and I didn't really understand it too much. But I just always did that. But now I think, like, dang, I was smart to do. Well, yeah, but no. I should have kept playing. That would be even smarter. What do you with her? So we have this. Alright, well, we gotta go visual. We gotta get in. We gotta go further beyond. Let's think about it. Okay, so what are we trying to do? We're trying to get information. Hey, you are a new player in here. Checky check, 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 check. Okay, what do we go to check? Well, I need to get... How would I do that in visual? Well, how would I do that in visual? I would be like, hey, we're on the player. Player get this. See if the Steam ID is equal to that in that. But how do I check that in the action graph? It would be... this, so it'd be like... Hold up, I think I might have just got that. It would be this... player. Well, I don't know if it would be Steam ID. How would you check that? Well, I could go into a thing and get their Steam ID and see if their Steam ID is equal to this Steam ID. Yes. I could do it in that way. It's a mission reward item. Oh, that's right. And I was thinking, I don't want to break it, because if the market, it looks like it might actually in torn for the first time do a little bit of a big boy. So I'm going to keep that. I can't actually use it. That's why I had to like liquidate my items, because I can't take it out. That's just emergency. I got to do something, and something's bad, or something's going on, we need it, or big upgrade, and I need an upgrade, and or something, which probably be faction based, probably during like that, or when the market goes crazy. I could just be like, all right, I'll go crazy. I need a place where it's super safe. I'll just put it in there and just wait until it's done and then break it and get it. But yeah, you can take it out. I use Bank Investment too? Yes. I actually do have that right now. I put it in. I wasn't taking it seriously a little bit ago. Before I even talked about it, I was just like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Because I do have the merit to get a 5%. Not a direct 5%. It's a 5% increase off of a small percent, which is not a direct 5%. So it's like 9%. I have a 13%. Because I got it I used 3 merits, so I did 2 upgrade on the bank interest. and I put 800,000 in, I'm gonna get for however months, 3 months, which is really nice. So that's like secured, safe money. I just probably should have did it way more. I would be getting 100,000 out of that. So I put in 8, I would get 100,000. So basically $1 million, which is pretty nice. Then you can increase that, and there's, I think, the other ways to slightly increase it. I don't know. I gotta check that. Look, the education. I don't think the education does. So we get this, be like, hey, then we gotta do a for loop. We gotta do a for each through the UGC, which isn't an action graph, so there's no way to even do that. Go through that to check if Steam ID is toString. We got a toString these is equal to the database for each. So that's the database one, which is going to be a list, but I can't, but like, what is that variable? There is no variable. Besides that, like, player list data. So I guess I could make a node for my action graph then. Yeah. Oh, and also, well, there is another one. I say probably push into education first. Life, you're leveling up and you're getting that pretty quickly right now, so you don't really need to focus too hard on that. But the education reduction, because in the merits, because then you learn your stuff way faster. Like a few points, like it's that exponential growth. I got I think 4 or 5 into it, so I'm like learning my stuff. It'd be like 16 days. I get it in 12 days. I think. No, it's like 2 days. So it'd be like 12. So if it's a 12 day, I get a 10 day. Yeah. So if it's 16, I get 14, which is actually kind of crazy because that's not a lot. If I actually pushed heavily into that, I would have an even bigger reduction. And if you get these the market and you you invest like tens of millions into it, you get even another, I think a 50%. It's a big reduction. Actually, I'll tell you. I can check right now. Kind of crazy. It's into the school system, which is cool. No, provides a 10% education time reduction, which is actually crazy. But you need to invest 109 million into that. Get that. So that's like not near, but it is one of the lower value ones, the market value ones. The market. So could do that, but there's another one which you don't have to, you get a free refill, and if you don't, that's crazy, but you should, because I don't know how I got my stuff. But either way, because I never did any of the stuff like the buy, so you should have that too, which that's in your points. So if you click your points, it'll say reset merits, that one right next to your reset points. Should say free. If it doesn't, feels bad, because I literally don't know how I got that. But there is, because you could think of it like that way, push it all into education, and then you could as well is like you get a +1 worker boost, which is nice, because even if you do the city jobs, you get a worker boost. You get to wait 6 months. Oh, then you're chilling. You get a free one then. Yeah. That's legit around, like, the time you want. Because right now, you're building up. Your early game. Your stats are super low. Your battle stats are super low. You got some money. But that stuff is, like, you can instantly spend it, basically. And go right back to 0. Because of how, how stuff stacks over time. The payment on your buildings. If you got the upgrades. Like, my upgrades on my stuff, I had to undo it. Because I'm not using it. So, because mainly it's for happiness stuff, which is really good for, like, chaining and doing that stuff, because you lower your happiness really quick. So having those stuff helps a lot. But you could heavily focus on that, and then within 6 months, when you're chilling like Krillin with that stuff, you can reset it, or whatnot. But you don't, I mean, hey, you don't have to fully focus into that. Maybe do some extra research. And I don't know how I got mine. But, regardless... That's what, if I had to restart, that's what I would do. I would go put into my education, like, probably put first 5, like, which would be 1, 3, it goes like, the first one's 1, costs 1, the second one costs 2, second one costs 3, 4, 5, 6, it goes all the way up like that, so it's not, so it's like, the exponential growth is kind of crazy, but you fill that up pretty quick, you reduce your stuff, you're gaining your stuff pretty quick, which gives you worker stats, the education, you get that, and you get that days sooner, so you're stacking, so you're not just saving 2 days or like a few hours, let's say 1 day, you're saving 1 day, and then you're doing an education course, that's another day, so you've actually saved 2 days, and that stacks, so it really stacks a lot, so stack into that first. Then I would stack into worker stats, and then I would stack into health, a little bit, to help me when I'm starting to do, like, especially when you get into heavier stuff, you're starting to really go crazy, and, you're really starting to attack and get into battles, that's when I was probably also stacking a little bit of health. Then, in the future, reset it, maybe put a little, still in the education, maybe remove all your worker stats, it really depends, because, like, for me, it doesn't matter the worker stat because I'm a director. My worker stats don't apply. If you're going to be always not having a company, which could be a thing, I mean, like, it just really depends. But it's, right now it's good. Later, it could be bad. The worker stat one. All the other stats, though, not too bad. They do all end up being pretty useful. I'm trying to max out education. I do have some points that focuses. Awesome. Perfect. You're over here like just flipping a pizza. Alright, let me learn this real quick. Flipping a pizza. Nice. Awesome work. So we have this is equal. So it'd be like boom, equal, just has a little thing. Or can I 2-string it? Because it would have to be a 2-string. Oh, I can. Perfect. So that's legit. This is exactly the type of code that it would be. So we in yes, then say well, I guess put log. You have already created a count. That's kind of the idea of what this is, but it's like, yeah, but no, I don't know. Maybe we actually do create, like they do gotta do that stuff. I don't know. So false. True, what do we have to do? Well, we got to go through. Oh, no, wait, no, actually, it is true. Yeah, so is it equal? Yep. If not, go through, and I need to get the player data, which I can't do that here. In Action Graphs, I can't just call C#. I got to get it via game objects and components. So, like, here, would it be like this, but I'm not making this in Action Graph. This could be C#. I'm just trying to visualize the code in Action Graph to help me here, because I'm really struggling. And what's even worse, I don't have no UGC, like, nodes, so it's, like, even harder to visualize. But anyways. So no, so what do I want to do? Well, I want to create it. So this will be an entry. This would be like, okay, well, no. Create entry. Create entry. And then we got to do a... Where is it? Let me look at it again. The documentation. Notification. Oh. That scared me. I just lost my 4,000 Hamilton Tiger Cats two-way full event bet on Hamilton Tiger Cats versus Montreal. Which is not real, but it's funny notification. That's a funny little notification. Imagine if I did. Dude, imagine if I was. Dude, some people do that, which is crazy, dude. But I understand. I understand. My name is T-Edge. My name is T-Edge. Oh, trying to find this thing, man. Alright, so okay, so I want to create an entry. So when I create an entry, it's called save player. But maybe that's gotta be different. So create entry player. Then I want to write a JSON file. So get all save for each loop in all those saves. Okay. For each loop to all the saves. We're going through all the saves, trying to figure it out and not go insane. But it's not working out because my brain is going crazy. All because the face punch devs are lazy. They're not though. They're not. See catch. I'm gonna go. Okay, so when I create an entry, I'm gonna freak out. You create an entry, use entry. My brain, it breaks. It breaks, it breaks, it breaks. Create entry. Should that be the player's name? Probably should be because, like, that's easy. That's an easy change later. So write game data to files because we have nothing. So we have to write to it because we just created the folder, so it's all empty. Well, on launch, we have information. So information is player player player. So that would be this player. Well, I can't. It wouldn't be like this. There's a way to get the Steam ID in them. I didn't. So it'd be like that's how we would get the Steam ID. Steam ID would be that way. Actually, no, I could do it. Hold up. Is it network? Yeah, just learn. There it is. Okay, so that's how we get the Steam ID, Steam ID, Steam ID. String. Well, I don't know if we have to string it because it's going to be a Steam ID, and the other one's going to be Steam ID, so that could fill a Steam ID. Like, that could fill into that one. Right, okay. So... Actually, no, it can't because I just realized it's just a set. It actually isn't. Yo, I saw that. Yo, I saw that. That's awesome. That's really cool. Remind me of the Halo CE flood. Sweating over there with the development. Let's go. Get Steam ID toString, and I gotta set it to a string. Yeah. Okay. So that would be the way to do that. So I set it to a string. But now I gotta set metadata. So I wanna write, so I wanna write that, so I wanna create it. I wanna write it. Write JSON. And then I want to set meta. That's, so set meta would be this. See, dude, actually doing it in Visual Script, dude, it's, dude, legit, this is crazy. This is actually, like, really making me understand it more. Holy, that's pretty funny. So then I can set the information by just saying that type of information. Correct. Okay. So when I write the JSON, then I can just set that via that. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, I did see it, dude. That is cool. That sandbox is incredible. It really is. They just did an update. Did you see the update? The audio is insane. That might be really good for what you're trying to cook up. Have you seen it? Where it can do... you have to look into it. I don't know if it's enabled by default, but you can do occlusion via sound, like props. So you can put it like an actual prop and have something that's making sound be properly occluded. So like the sound will actually bend around corners and sound like it's bending around corners. The technology that Rainbow Six Siege had would actually change later. Their like original audio that everybody... That was a controversial update, I remember that. They said it was pretty good, but it's not like what that is. So that might be pretty sick. Because you got those rooms, right? So if you really want the audio to play in that one specific room in the hallway, right? It can be really, it's like way better. That like just got updated. It is like, the echoes are really insane. If it's sound related, yeah. They redid the whole sound stuff. There's like 3 new, like awesome things from it. Indicate the orientation. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And then what do I do here? This is for searching and displaying. What does that mean? It says set metadata for searching and display. So I could read all text just to read it. I could byte, or I could do data file inquiries. Does file exist? Directories. Oh, I could create a directory. So I got to create a directory, actually. Well, no. Well, okay. Well, maybe. Yeah. Oh my gosh, bro. Why do they put that below? That's weird. They're like, here's this information here, and then actually, it's like they tell you how to create a folder, or like the thing, but they don't tell you how to create the folder for it, which is weird. Or I guess a directory for the folder. I don't know. Yeah, technically the folder, because it is telling you how to do the folder. The directory is different. It's gonna be great. Yeah. It's gonna be really dope. So they read. So get all save. But okay, so I could get all save for each loop. Don't want to create a directory. So this is gonna be put into like its place. We create a directory for that. So a player has put. Hold up, I don't know. Hold up. So for the UGC system, I want to have information that is player front-end data and the back-end data. Back-end data would be like leaderboard type data. Front-end would be like the health, level and stuff like that. If I'm gonna be having like 2 of those, which are gonna be separate, so it'll be like separate class or structure or whatnot. Should I create a directory first to house that player's specific information? Or does a UGC create entry already do that? I need to figure that out. Yeah, that's the specifics. It gives you a unique folder and a file system inside it. Right. It can actually have an option. It can have that as a thumbnail, which is weird. Or put a thumbnail on it. So I probably don't need to then. But if I'm going to have multiple players with that information, so if I create an entry player, wouldn't I have to change that entry name to the player's name? And see if that, or I guess not their name, probably Steam ID? And check, so it'd be like their Steam ID.json, and check to see if that is equal to their Steam ID to prevent the actual creation of that said entry. Because if I create a folder, I'm going to put potentially hundreds to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of those into one specific folder, which would be, I guess, the base UGC system. So would it actually be okay if all those Steam IDs are in the base UGC system and not putting that into a directory? I'm not putting thousands of players into one entry or one folder. I'm creating one storage entry per player. Okay. Dude, Torrens education is real, bro. We're seeing it live. I'm currently getting this education, the real life version. I completed my market one earlier. Now I unlocked my IRL market system. I actually unlocked my IRL market system. Nice. You wanna know the best part? I was gonna wait to do this for like a month because I wanted to get the business buffs to try to get people wanting to get on more. But I said screw it because my boss that wasn't paying me. So I will get that. But it's funny because right now I'm currently still researching how to make polymorphic arts in Torn. And like another thing. So like I like to think like pizza guys making pizza pies and then like during the night he's on computer like matrix code. It's like what is... But I would be going business thing. I'd be like, yes, I want my business stuff now. With echoes, but I can't wait to manipulate the audio, reduce it. Yeah, the reverb. Yeah, that definitely is gonna help a lot. Legit. I can guarantee. CMID 1, CMID 2, you do. So instead of player data, CMID 1, CMID 2, you do entry. So each entry is its isolated thing. Right. So with each entry that is apparently isolated, so entry player underscore CMID1 instead of player data, which is, I guess, the main directory with the CMID1.jsons in it, I'm basically creating almost like a directory, not directory, yeah, folder for each one of these people. And there is no directory, I'm putting in like the base directory, basically. So I don't have to create a new one. So all those Steam IDs, when I create them as an entry, without creating a directory, I will be able to search through all those entries and find that. Because how would I be able to do that? How can I search through all entries and know to search through each one if they're going to have their names be different? Because that could just be player, it's going to be their Steam ID, so we can know which one's which and be able to search for that specific one and get that specific. So when you do create player, you're not creating something inside a folder, you're creating a separate database record. Each entry is its own GUID, independently indexed. Searchable via API, the search get all query meta filter. So system already knows every entry automatically. You don't have to manually walk a direct. So how do you search a specific player? So instead of that, you actually have entry A, B, C. So the engine maintains the index for you. How searching works, get all entries. So get all player, this returns every player in existence. Wait, so then if we were to visualize that, it wouldn't be entry A, B, or C. It would actually be, if we create an entry called player, it would be player, 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 and we gotta search through all those players and get the Steam ID with inside each one of those players and see if it's equal to the Steam ID that the person's actually trying to get into. Okay, weird. This is weird. Yeah, I feel you on that, dude. I feel you on that. Or more like entry A, player type. Okay, so each one is a entry, unique entry ID. Currently, same type player, different metadata. So GUID, get all player, is just the entries labeled as that. Okay. So if I'm getting, okay, so if I create an entry that's player, where I store all the player's information, it would be like GUID number, technically, player, and in there would like, to add to the player, I want player front-end data and player back-end data. So that would look like GUID, player, and in that, it would be front-end data and back-end data, not JSON. Right? I think I might be understanding this. Like, we just gotta, like... So it would be type player, files, and the metadata. Okay. So the files... Okay, so the entry... I understand I can't edit the ID, which I don't want to. So the entry is basically the category label. So that'd be player. The files within it is the front-end JSON and back-end JSON. The metadata is not separate, right? The metadata is actually within the front-end and back-end.json files, correct? Metadata is actually separate from your JSON files? This is your real game data. Hold up. Let me look at that again. Hold up. Let me go back to it. Oh, I almost just knocked over my cards. Hey, you want to see them? What cards? Hey, these type of cards. Hey, got them for dirt cheap sale. This one right here, which was much better of a type of box than this one. Yoinky, yoink, yoink, yoink. I keep them right here on my desk. Now, I almost just knocked them over. I know. Flipped out, but thankfully in the box, so it doesn't even matter, because they wouldn't get damaged. That's why we have boxes. And protection. I've been meaning to play another Magic the Gathering, but I've just been super crazy busy. That's right, though. Set metadata is for, like, finding entries fast. Fascinating. That's where I kind of wouldn't put their Steam ID there. Yes. Right, front end health. Right. Okay, then how would I specifically edit information within a JSON file? Like, alright, the GUID, cool, player, right, that's the category label type thing, or folder, whatever. That just is where we can check those specific types within the UGC system. I guess I'll get a meta data for a Steam ID only, so I can check that pretty fast to see if that's the correct one or not. Alright, we just did that. So how do I actually check the JSON information? Well, I say check, but like, I gotta get the information and then adjust it. So like, for this example of adjusting information, I want to adjust the front-end JSON's health from 85 to 15. How do I do that? How would I actually... How would that look? So you can't actually... Wait, what? So I take it, I bring it out into a variable, I edit that variable, and pump it back in. Okay. Front equals entries, files, free JSON, player front end data. Now front is a C# object in memory. Yo, what the f... We really in the pits, huh? We in the pits. We about to start mosh pitting here pretty soon, sweaties. Get ready. About to start mosh pitting in the sweat lounge. Then I modify it. And then I pump it back in. That's insane. Man, Unreal Engine is so god tier. Holy man. When I start, like, dude, I haven't really used it in like a month, bro. When I get back into it, I'm gonna be flying like I'm like Superman. Dude. Holy Gary Newman. Not having this in action grabs. Holy Gary Newman. And he's like, yeah, everything will be fine, but people will get like it'll be like probably like an 80. You know, they'll probably give it an 80. It's a 39%. Whoa, why is it so... Hey guys, why the low ratings, huh? Kinda crazy. Guys, didn't you take 15 years of C# lessons like I did? No? Wait, what? Wait, what? America's been one of the least leading software engineer countries in the past decade? Wait, what? I just now figured this out and didn't know that this has been an ongoing thing for many years. Wait, what? Which is true. The main places that lead in tech people are... Well, software type of development right now is... the Asian countries and Poland. Funny enough. Poland's got some heavy hitters. They got a lot of their fingers everywhere. That you would think... I mean, we got our stuff, yeah, but it's like... Not... Like, only in our wheelhouse. Well, they got it, like, everywhere. CD Projekt Red is Polish. And they've made one of the best games in gaming history. Not on launch, but it really is, like... It is, right now. And that's like a straight up fact. So I'll get all players. First or default. See if their Steam ID is equal to ours. And then we load the front end. Front.health. Oh, so we can pull the health like that? Okay, hold up. So that's kind of... So, wait, okay. Okay. I think I just need a little bit more. Hold up. So what do I do? Well, here I would do this. Well, I guess it's copy and paste. It's really just copy and paste. Corporate espionage. Oi, corporate. My brain. Do it. Become the best. There is. Gotta look in the dark RP. Gameplay, player, dark RP player info? Display name equals Steam.persona name. Steam ID equals Steam.Steam. Did you know I work for Steam? Dude, that'd be cool. That would be kinda crazy. Kinda crazy, man. Hey, you kinda crazy. Hey, man, you kinda crazy. What up? What the Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Player dot Steam. This object does not contain a Steam. This object does not contain a Steam. Is it networking? I don't know. Is this player data? If is bot. Hello. If is bot. Hello. If is. Oh, you know what's kind of funny too? So since I don't have a faction in Torn, people have been like sending me faction invites. It's actually a smart way of checking their factions and see if they got people that I can hire. So I've done it and got a few of their names. I haven't sent it yet. I should send it to those chefs. I should, because I don't know if they're getting paid. And they're probably gonna lie. So, like you know, it's like business, right? So it's like, someone says a high number, you take the high number. You know what I mean? So it's like, dang. And I don't know if they got a high number in some of these places. Probably are not. The less than 100,000, there's a likelihood they're not getting paid whatsoever. And I can't know for sure. There's no way of knowing. Unless they're like, hey, take a screenshot. It's like, yeah, no. Take a screenshot and upload it on Discord, copy the link, and give it to me. It's like... Yeah, okay, bud. How about you just eat my pizza pie? How about you just eat my pizza pie? Huh? Piece of crap. You piece of crap. I don't know how I got it with that. I'm just gonna do it this way. Ready? Here we go. So, game objects is player dot, which it was game object network dot owner dot theme ID dot to string. Oh, do we need to oh no, can we check those? Hold on, move quick. We got this. Hold up. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. I'm slowly starting to figure it out. I feel it, like, working. It's just, dude, it took me 4 months to figure out for each loops. And man, that was brutal. I mean, not really, but... oh, those centrifuges put me through the ringer. Let me tell ya. I learned the hard way. I was Goku in a freaking whatchamacallit, dude. Legit. No joke. Something that would have taken me years, I've learned in months. I Goku'd that thing hard. And also Vegeta in his thing as well. And then also Ichigo in Bleach. When he's traveling between the two planes and has to train with his father before he fights the main guy. I don't know why that stuck in my head. I may freak out. And you know what? That's okay, because that gets us closer to becoming one with Gary Newman. Hey, Gary Newman. Send us a care package. Gary Newman, send me a care package. I'll put it here. I'll open it live. And it's just a picture meme that says, "Now you see me, now you don't." Nothing in the box. I'll still keep the box. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's a method? I didn't know those were methods. I'm gonna freak out. That's right, though. Because one freak out equals one big boom. Give it one big boom. How about you expect this? Ooh, I'm gonna freak out. I should call it front-end data. I do kind of feel insane. But I guess that's what you have to pay. You gotta pay the piper. And if you don't, he's gonna win the WWE match. Or WWF match. And you don't want that. So get this freaking variable, right? And say, hey, front load it. Call it the same thing, I don't care. Uppercase it. Do it. My file. And watch, it's like, yeah, you can. It actually can. It doesn't work. It's like, oh, okay. So in the front end, it just thinks... So this is how you modify a variable within a JSON. It's like this. Because it thinks that there would be a health component within there. Actually, wait. Let me see. It might actually understand it. It does. No, because I'm like, wait a second. There actually is a health variable. It's called health. Yeah, so it actually is getting this variable, funny enough. So no, it does need to be there. Right? So that's like, modify it to there. So that's how we can modify. Right. So then that's how we save it back. So we gotta load it, modify it, and then save it. This is a JSON file system, but using the UGC system. That's confusing me. But it's... I mean, what's extra crazy is that you couldn't do this before they made this. You had to make it yourself. And people be like, yeah, screw Unreal Engine. Yeah, no, because I'm not making that. I'm not making that system. You crazy? That's what we got people like Gary Newman for. That's my job. So you have to say, I'm not an officer. I'm just a pizza guy. A pizza guy trying to make a pizza pie. But like legit, this is the furthest we've got with the UG system. We did the thing before, but that was like, that was nothing. Well, it was something, but it was just like, it was me just copy and pasting. This is like, I'm fundamentally understanding this system. Step by step, I really am. Because this core bit right here is so important. And then this is also so important. This would be like... Ooh, look at this big boy word. Within the database. Ooh, which is true. Okay, so we get the data, we get it as an entry, we like, hey, how you doing? Find first. Because first or default is a thing apparently you can attach anywhere in C#, which is super weird, but it's like a for each loop that's like built into one little line, and it's easy to find things. I still have not figured out what this is, and it confuses the crap out of me every time I look at that. But I guess X just means X, which is just a variable default. I don't know, it's something. I still gotta figure that out. If I figure this out, this is actually pretty crazy to get. But anyways, okay, so it's a first or default. So we first or default our information. If we first or default it, what do we do? Well, what are we doing? Well, we need to first move this over, and I need to look at that again, because what was our logic? Our logic was that we need to get the player, get the Steam ID, check to see if we do that. We got that check. How do I check if it's no? Well, that's a different type of logic, so first or default is actually probably not good to use, funny enough. But the AI is like, let's do it anyways. Cool. So then we check entry. Well, this is that the player's there. Okay, so if like, hold up. So if I say, take this. Note to have. Right. So, verbal stem ID, toString, try to find. If not found, so if it's not found, you want to create an entry. Yeah. Right. Storage entry, set metadata, boom, that would be the metadata. Optional, extra metadata. Good for daytime now string? Oh, cool. Wait, that's actually great for like when we want to get the, yeah, so when, yeah, okay, cool. Like, that's cool, but it's just like, I didn't even ask for this freaking thing. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Let me BRB. Yeah, I'm gonna go to my UGC system. BRB. Sorry about that, sweaties. I'm back. It is iamekaj, back so we can play and go crazy. But it's okay, because I am understanding bits and pieces, which is needed here. So, like, front end load it in the mono. So I don't really want to, this is just template. This is like the legit thing I want to do. Right. So this is like boom, and then boom. Right. And then front end needs all of that. So to create a new variable or whatever this is, you can create a new one. I don't know. That's just C#, but I'm understanding. So to create a new front end data, we want to go through all of it, right? And be like equals this. Oh, now we're on this player. How do we get the layer? I did it twice today, and I think I deleted it twice. And I've had to rewrite it again and again and again. But you know what? It's making me understand it more. No! What? Get component is a dot get component? Yeah, here it is. So dot get component. Component is player. Then you need one of those, right? And then you need one of those. Named a string, no. What? So get player, so this player var player info equals that player info. That player info is is what? Well, it's the components, and the component contains what? Component contains. Actually, no, name. I gotta get this. That's actually different. That's right, because it's not even filled. Yeah, that's actually right. So it actually would be this. No, it wouldn't be this, because this is that. So it'd have to still get the player. Yeah, so player dot network dot owner dot name. I think it's name. Display name. The player's display name, but with any potential nicknames or naughty words filter out. You don't want to be using the server-side logic. So that's the front end. That's a new thing. That's cool. That's I think that's the new thing. That's what they were talking about recently, and maybe in a different part. I don't know. But yeah, so you wanted to get the name. That's what I thought. Name. So get owner name. Yeah. Like that. Name equals that. What's wrong with that? So what happens? So I'm basically saying, I don't know. So I have to do the same thing I was doing earlier, but up on top. So it'd be like, there. player name equals that, and I say player name is that. Yeah, you have to put it outside and then put it in. It makes sense because I'm just creating a new one, and this is like I'm creating a variable and I'm putting a logic inside of a variable, which is no. Wait, that's not a thing. Well, yeah, but no, I don't know. I would think it is confusing, so it probably can. But I was like, okay, so get the name equals this. That's setting a variable, but it wouldn't do it in here. So it's like, okay, so we got to do above. Then, all right, so that gets the person's actual Steam name, player name, and it sets it in their front end data. Boom, there's our first thing right there. If we're directly using that, I don't know if we're even gonna freaking do that, but this is just a what the heck are we even trying here? And how do we even get through this? And what are we even doing? And why is Gary Newman torturing us? Those are all questions, and the world may never know. But we sure will, because we're going through it. And I'm having a fantastic time. Cuts to me just like covered in blood, like screaming in like a, like I'm in hell. Like just like something, just like yeah, I'm fine. No. What is wrong? So this would be like gender, players, gender. We could. Well, I think there. Well, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to create it, because if it's based off of your character creation and you actually wanted to change it, you're stuck. Unless we give you a free like redo, which is a possibility, but I think that's a little cheeky. I think it'd be cooler to be like create. We might even also have it where you got to create your profile. It's kind of better to do that, funny enough, because well, yeah, but no, I don't know, because now we get the UGC. So, player name, player's gender, get the players. Do what must be done. So Steam ID. What? Can't convert string. So well, can I just do toString? It's like, well, you can't do it because it's in a method. Oh, and hold up. String. So I gotta do that? But it's like, iamekaj, you're freaking us out. Stop. So I gotta go, okay, so Steam. And then I gotta do this. Like that. Is this a Steam ID? Oh, wait, that already was a string. Oh. We'll stringify this then. Okay, so Steam ID to Steam ID. Alright, now we get gender. So gender, that is, we click in. Well, I don't know, because I'm thinking, well, they're going to go through a UI interface first, so so the last click is this button, actually. Like, boom, create it, right? Then it fills it all in. Kind of like a, you know, you're checking out. You could, like, go back in the stage and, like, redo an information, and like when you're doing your like payment information type stuff on a website. Yeah, but we still need to set all this though. That is true. And certain variables like that are going to be set no matter what. Yeah, so which ones are going to be doing that? I don't know, because I want to go in a line. How we setting that, though? Like, where are we getting that? I guess this could be a local variable that also then gets set in here. So it'd be like local this. Well, I could, like, plug it all into here. Which would be what? Just the player info? Like, we gotta call it. Well, not separately, right? So we gotta call it all at once. How do we get all that information all at once? Is kind of with, like, local variables. Like, it's like, I'm thinking character creation screen. Click, 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 click. Local variables. And then at the end, it gets all those locals and sends it. Which is kind of stupid. Because I'm not directly editing it. But I guess I could... Well, yeah, maybe I'm thinking to Unreal Engine. So I create all that stuff here, and I create it as empty, basically. But no, because it's like then, well, yeah, so I do that, and then afterwards, I create another function that is set the information in it. But how do you create a function that's, what is it again? So, read the JSON. Right. And we do have JSON stuff in here. I got a JSON message. Convert, right? Like, that's just crazy. So... What are you changing? This might be fully C#. What are we changing? Well, values in it. But, like, how am I changing that in the action graph? Oh, no. I'm gonna have to use I'm gonna have to, like, create a function and call it here. Ew. I can't do it in Unreal Engine. Yeah, I can't, because I'm doing it in here. But I can't call it. Maybe read JSON? So, right, load from JSON, JSON convert right. These are just done signals. They're not giving us like an output pin of information. Is what we need. Object refresh message. That might be it. So it's but it's a full freaking thing. And it's just a string. So I gotta go crazy with that, and this is like, yeah, dude, this is kind of stupid. Action graphs literally don't have no, like, really good support at all for that. Unless I create a node, but, like, how? That, like, gets all the... It's basically gonna have, like, all input pin variables of it? Or something? Because, like, how do you, like, just say, yeah, modify this one, or modify that one, or modify this one, or modify that one? You have to call... But yeah, wait, that's a great question. How do you do that? Wait, so if I'm going to be damaging the player, how do I call that? That's a great question. How do I damage a player and call that here and modify it? Well, this can equal a variable name. Can you not do it in there? I guess not. Why does this not want to get created here? What? Oh, there, this equals... I don't know. Wait, how do you... Okay, so it just turns it into a 0. Weird. Like, it turns it into an integer automatically. Weird. That's so weird. Their front health temp 0. Front health equals that. So I was like, okay, so I modified this variable and I call it in there. So how does that change it though? Great question. How does that change it? Like... Like an update a stat. Like a health stat, right? We want to update it. In this health stat, it is like, where do we change it? I don't know. I don't know where we change it, actually. Like... If I get the health, and the health is... Or like energy, so like... Front.energy equals energy temp. Okay. Temp is changed. Read data. So I have to create so I would have to create multiple ones if I wanted to suit it in action graph. Okay, hold up. That is kind of possible then. I just thought of a way with it be kind of suitable, which would make sense. It would work, I think. I mean, well, I gotta create functions anyways. And I want to create it via action graph. But I could create a node that plugs it in to a JSON file and sends it. It has to be a custom node. It's not too crazy. I've created some. So... And this is kind of it right here. It's just... So input pin into this would be that and send it. Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah. That's good. That's really good. Save. Save. Close. That is... Oh, really good. But let's first... go over here. Because we gotta get into our next thing of today, of course. Let me do that. I think we got a great or a much better understanding. Wait, did this say Star Wars? Oh, it did. Wait, is this...